They keep on winning. They keep on winning. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how much this team keeps finding ways to win. It's so crazy that literally every starting pitcher is getting credited with the win, regardless of how the starting pitcher performs. Like Taijuan Walker got roughed around in that first inning with 2 outs. Yeah, his stat line ended with only allowing 4 earned runs, but I guess at that point you take that from Taijuan Walker with 5 innings as well. It did keep you involved in the ball game, but it's just right now no deficit is just insurmountable for this Phillies team. Like, no deficit is a issue. They just keep finding ways to come back in games. They keep finding ways to take leads. Your bullpen did allow a couple of runs today, but still your offense just kept constantly responding, which is what they've been doing for so long now at this point. It's crazy how long they've been doing this for. And you get the win, and also the Mets blew another game. They were leading 2-0. They eventually blow it because the Rangers eventually tied it. Edwin Diaz allowed a run with 2 outs in the 9th inning. And then the Mets, they had a chance to tie the ball game, but then they ended up not coming up there. I believe they had like first and third with 2 outs or 1 out or something like that. And they couldn't tie the game. So with the win and with the Mets loss, your magic number for the National League East drops down to 1. And then also what helped you last night is the San Francisco Giants walking off the Los Angeles Dodgers, which also helps you for that separation with LA for the bye week, which I think it upped you to 5.5 games or 6 games above LA. I think it was 6, but some other people were saying 5.5. So I definitely have to look at the standings once again just to make sure of what that is. But, you know, San Fran, keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Getting as many wins as you possibly can before this series against the Dodgers is very important, and you just got to hope that the San Francisco Giants, they keep playing hot baseball right now and taking care of business against LA, which helps that separation, keeps that separation intact to where you really don't have to worry about the bye week and the Dodgers possibly coming back for that. So all of that is insanely huge. I watched the end of that game last night, actually, the San Fran-LA game, and I thought San Fran blew their chance to win the ball game because for some reason the runner on third base, I believe they had bases loaded or 2 runners on or something like that, with an out in the bottom of the 9th inning. It was a shallow fly ball. For some reason they wanted to test Pages' arm on a shallow fly ball, and for some reason they tried to go on the shallow fly ball. They ended up getting out, but then the Dodgers couldn't score in the top of the 10th inning with the ghost runner, them also being stupid as well for some reason, trying to take third base on a shallow fly ball. It was also a good play by the right fielder from the Giants, and then eventually they loaded the bases in the bottom of the 10th, and then basically all they needed was a sac fly or a single. No, Patrick Bailey hit a fucking grand slam to win the game. That's crazy. That is crazy. So they're helping the Phillies right now. Phillies are doing their own business. They're 1 game away from clinching the NL East regardless of a win or a Mets loss. So everything is up and up right now, and it feels so good. Crazy stuff. And I also see Franco saying in the comments section that the Cardinals are currently up 3-0 on the Brewers, which could, you know, close in that gap between the Phillies and the Brewers, even though it's not that long whatsoever. So the Brewers have definitely been coming back down to earth more as the Phillies are just on this insane tear that they're currently on. It's incredible how much of a tear this team has been on. Like I said, like no deficit for them right now. It's just inovercomable, if that's even a word. I'm making up words on the spot, like nothing they can't overcome right now. That's basically what I'm trying to explain. Like, you go down to 3-0 early in this ball game, and you come back and win it. You were down 4-0 in the Thursday game in the series finale against the Mets. You came back and won that because the Mets couldn't fucking hit a baseball past the first inning, which is insane. Not taking credit away from Jesus Luzardo because he was very nasty after that. This offense, man. This offense just held together by fucking Band-Aids at this point. They just keep contributing. It continues that stretch of just passing the baton back and forth along the way of the lineup. Brandon Marsh had a fantastic day. Harrison Bader continues to get multi-hit games. Schwarber, Schwarbaum, 51st Schwarbomb of the season. Good on him. Everybody's fucking contributing. Nick Castellanos getting a huge sacrifice fly. Otto Kemp barely missing a home run. He gets an RBI in there as well. Everybody is doing their part. Now, they did have a lot of base runners in this game. They definitely could have blew this game wide open way earlier. But when you keep getting chances, you're eventually going to cash in on those opportunities. And that's exactly what they did. And the bullpen just did enough to keep you involved. And, every time the Royals got their run against the bullpen, which was against David Robertson, which was against Matt Strum, Phillies offense instantly responded. So, just awesome stuff. Just completely awesome stuff. So, hey, why not win tomorrow? Clinch that NL East going into the series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm not sure when they clinch the East how much partying they're going to do, granted they're going into such a huge series against Los Angeles. So it's definitely going to be an interesting thing if they do clinch the NL East tomorrow, which obviously they can still clinch it if the Mets lose. So they can lose, but also the Mets can lose to have clinched the NL East. So I'm not sure how that would feel for them. So that definitely would be a very weird feeling. But they just continue to win ball games. They just continue to look awesome. They're 29 games above 500 right now, 89-60. They're 51-23 at Citizens Bank Park, which is also insane. So my God. So going into this game, Taijuan Walker, 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs allowed, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed, specifically to Salvador Perez. He got the first 2 outs fairly quickly in the top of the first, but then allowed a lot of hits in a row after that. Also, combined with that, I believe it was a 2-run shot by Salvador Perez. That was pretty annoying. Phillies did instantly respond in the bottom of the first, though. Brandon Marsh with the weirdest double I've ever seen. I guess the left fielder for the Royals completely misjudged where the ball was going to land. It landed like right in front of him. I guess he thought it was going to go off the wall or something like that. But hey, I will take that. When you're going good, good shit happens, and 2 runs scored because of that. It became a 3-2 Royals lead. They eventually take a 4-2 lead off of another Salvador Perez home run. Phillies did respond as well. So it was just the constant answers back and fight back from this Phillies team every time the Royals did something. So go to the top of the first inning, like I said, Garcia with an RBI single with 2 outs after a Pasquantino double, and then Salvador Perez hits the 2-run shot to make it 3-0. He did allow a couple of more base runners after that. Frazier with a single, India with a double. Eventually found a way to get out of the jam. Bottom of the first inning, Marsh, like I said, with that very weird double after Bader reached on an infield single and Schwarber walked. Harper and JT both struck out, but then Marsh was able to drive those runners home. Then Salvador Perez hits the home run in the top of the third inning. JT Realmuto with a sacrifice fly after Bader, Schwarber, and Harper get on base. So bases loaded there. They weren't able to drive any more runs there. Marsh grounded into a fielder's choice, and then Kepler struck out. Then you get to the bottom of the fourth, stop with a single. He gets to second base. He gets stranded there. But then you go to the bottom of the fifth. This is when really the Phillies run away with the game. Schwarber with a leadoff shot to tie the ball game up. Lefty. Bryce Harper with a walk. JT Realmuto rockets a ball to the shortstop. Bobbles it against Bobby Witt Jr. And all the runners ended up safe. Marsh grounded into a fielder's choice, which they got the out at first base, but JT and Bryce got the second and third. Castellanos pinched hit for Max Kepler, so Rob Thompson being very aggressive in this situation. I kind of like it. He gets a sacrifice fly. Rob Thompson gets rewarded for it. It becomes a 5-4 Phillies lead. Otto Kemp barely misses a home run, goes off the top of the wall, scores another run, becomes 6-4 Phillies. Tanner Banks comes into the sixth. He gets a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the sixth, Kyle Schwarber with an RBI single scores Walton from second base, makes it 7-4 Phillies. They had more chances. Harper with a strikeout. JT grounded into a double play. And this was a very weird situation because I guess Harper had a weird fly ball that landed foul, but I guess they couldn't tell what the umpire was saying or something like that. They had a long discussion. I'm not sure if the ball, I guess they weren't sure if the ball landed fair or foul or not. On the replay, it kind of clearly looked like it went foul. Bryce ended up striking out an at bat, but it is what it is. Top of the seventh inning, Pasquantino with a sacrifice fly against Matt Strum after he allowed a couple of base runners, but he got out of the jam and limiting the damage. Bottom of the seventh inning, Marsh instantly responds with a solo home run. Ball was absolutely crushed. It becomes 8-5 Phillies. And then against David Robertson, a 2-out double by India. Then Jensen gets an RBI single to make it 8-6. Then Once again, Robertson gets out of the inning, limiting the damage. Bottom 8, Phillies go down 1-2-3, and then Duran in the 9th, a very, very, very quick inning for Duran. Just complete dominance right there. So the rest of the pitching staff, Tanner Banks, he had a clean inning. 15 pitches, 10 strikes, nothing wrong there. Matt Strom allowed a couple of base runners with a single and a hit and a walk. 19 pitches, 11 strikes thrown there, allowed an earned run. David Robertson, he allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 2 strikeouts on 21 pitches. And then Duran with 9 pitches, struck out 1, dominance, closing out the ball game. Go to the lineup. Harrison Bader, just another ho-hum day at the office with a 3-hit game. 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored. He is just excelling in that leadoff spot in place of Trey Turner. Kyle Schwarber, great day at the plate. 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, a home run, and 2 walks. Bryce Harper, he went 0 for 3 with 2 walks in this game. JT Realmuto, he went 1 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Brandon Marsh, he went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs in this game, including a solo shot. Max Kepler, quiet day at the office. He went 0 for 2, but then Castellanos in his pinch hit opportunity, he got the sac fly. He ended up going 0 for 1. Otto Kemp, another great day at the plate. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI double. Bryson Stott, there was a little bit of a scare with Bryson Stott on one of the swings. He came up, grabbing a little bit of his side, so there was definitely some worries right there, but he stayed in the game. He almost hit a home run to dead center field in the at-bat right after that, so I guess he's fine. He went 1 for 4, and then Walton went 1 for 3 in his appearance tonight at second base. Phillies in totality, they go 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position. So overall, it was a very good game by the Phillies. They just keep finding ways to win, man. They keep finding ways to win. Magic number down to 1 thanks to another Mets loss because that team continues to fucking fall apart. It is absolutely hilarious. And you have a chance to win the NL East tomorrow with Aaron Nola on the bump at 135 going up against Noah Cameron. Lefty on the mound, 7-7 with a 3 ERA. He did have a good start against the Cleveland Guardians his last go-around, 7 innings and 2 earned runs with 8 strikeouts. But then he's also, 5 innings, 3 earned runs against the Angels, 5 innings, 6 earned runs against the White Sox. So he's been pretty up and down, I guess you could say. He did. So, okay, if I'm looking at his stats right here, he had a good month of April. He had a good month of May, which he was called up on April 30th, where he started, pitching this season on April 30th. So he had a really good month of May in 3 starts. Then in June, he wasn't good, pitching to a 4.5 ERA. Then he was good in July, pitching to a 1.84 ERA. And then he wasn't good in August, pitching to a 4.33. And so far in 2 starts in September, he's pitching to a 3.75 ERA. So, who cares? The Phillies are insanely hot right now. And then Aaron Nola with a chance to clinch the National League East. Let's see if he can build off of this start. Well, his past start against the New York Mets. We'll see if he can continue to build off of that strong one with 6 innings of shutout baseball. Last time Aaron Nola needed to pitch into a clinching scenario, what was it, 2023, when they had to clinch the postseason berth or the wild card spot or something like that. And that was during a stretch where Aaron Nola was also struggling, and he pitched one of his best games there of the season to help the Phillies clinch. So, just saying, we'll see what Aaron Nola does tomorrow, even though most people will probably be in Eagles mode, because games at 135, then the Eagles are 425. So you're thinking to yourself, this game most likely ends like right around when kickoff starts, or maybe just a little bit into the first quarter. So who knows? Maybe the Phillies win the NL East while the Eagles game is just getting underway or something like that. So will be an interesting scenario. Will definitely be an interesting scenario. So can't wait. And then you got this huge series against the Dodgers. Ranger Suarez goes on Monday, Sanchez on Tuesday, and Wednesday is Jesus Luzardo. So you will have your 3 best pitchers on the mound for that series. And just, I want to look at some expanded stuff here for the Dodgers. What are they against left-handed pitching? They're exactly 500 against left-handed pitching, so I wonder if they just don't hit well against lefties. So maybe that's a benefit for the Phillies. Who knows? Who the hell knows? But the Phillies are 17-9 against the NL West. That's just something to monitor. But they have been playing very, 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 very good. Very good. And now, the Mets and the Giants are officially tied for the last wildcard spot in the National League. And the Cincinnati Reds are right behind those two teams, being one game behind both of them. The Mets are on an 8-game losing streak. That is fucking insane. It is so insane. It is crazy how much they've been losing. They're now 76 and 73 on the season. They're only 3 games above 500 now. Just think about that. With the way they started on the season, what were they were like 20 games above 500. They're only 3 games above 500 right now. That is that is just crazy. That is crazy how much this team is collapsing. It's actually pretty funny. It's actually pretty funny. Yeah, Giants are 75 and 72. The Reds are 74 and 73. The Diamondbacks, they're 2.5 games behind the third wild card spot. The Cardinals, they're 3.5 games, even though both of those teams are below 500. Cardinals, they're still beating the Milwaukee Brewers right now. They're winning by a score of 3-1. The Dodgers and the Giants game looks like it just got underway not that long ago. And the Dodgers are winning 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning, but the Giants do have a runner on first base. So we'll see where that game goes. And after this win, you are, okay, so you were 5.5 games ahead of the Dodgers coming into tonight. Now you're 6 games ahead of them in the lead for that second bye week. And the Brewers, they did also, I believe, just clinch a postseason berth. I believe it was yesterday or something like that. So obviously the Phillies need one more game or win/Mets loss to clinch a postseason berth. So just see where it goes. The Brewers are also the first team this year to 90 wins. The Phillies most likely will be the second team because there's no other team that's closer to 90 wins than the Phillies, unless you throw in the Toronto Blue Jays. They're 4 more wins away from 90. So, yeah, things are going good. Things are going good. Feels good. Feels very, 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 very good. Very good right now. A lot of fun stuff. This team just keeps finding ways to win. It's absolutely crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And then think about this. After this series, there's 4 more series left in a year. This time has been flying by insanely fast. Insanely fast. Crazy, boys. Absolutely crazy. Also want to see if if there's anything on the Twitterverse just from it. It's crazy. A lot of people making fun of the Mets, which is rightfully so. Rightfully so. What else? Nope, not sure. Nope, nothing much. Nothing much. Not sure. Nope, it's just a bunch of Mets fans going crazy. Bunch of Mets fans freaking out. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Can't happen to a worse fan base. Can't happen to a worse group of people. Such a shame. Such a shame. Those people were puffing their chests out after that 3-game sweep, even though we were very pissed about that 3-game sweep. Rightfully so, because we knew how bad the Mets were, and you got trampled there very badly. But credit to you, you've gone off ever since. So, good on you. And then the Mets just continued to find ways to lose, and then when you played the Mets again in Philadelphia, you fucking beat their asses badly. Badly. Especially, you gave them a little bit of hope in the final game, and then just took that hope away from them. Crazy. 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 It's too much fun, people. It's too much fun. Can't get enough of it. And then tomorrow, series finale, chance to win the East, combined with Eagles versus Chiefs. Good times. Good times. It feels like a long time since we watched the Birds. It really feels like a long time since the first game. I guess that's what happens when you play on a Thursday night. It just feels like imagine the length going from like a Thursday to a Monday or something like that. That's also incredibly long. But geez, it's only been 1 week, and we're in week 2, and everything's just taking fucking forever. Man, I can't wait for the first 1 o'clock game, which is not until next week. So, good times. So, We do have one voicemail here on the Anytime Hotline. We might as well get to that. Listen to the good people here. So it is one call here. It is one call from Franklin. Let's see what Franklin has to say. And in the process, I most likely have to sneeze. So, let's go.
Wow, great win from the Phillies tonight. Tyler Walker, got roughed around, but man, Harrison Bader will not stop hitting the ball. Kyle Schwarber had a really good game. How about Otto Kemp? Yeah, man, he's been hitting the ball. Kepler did nothing. Brandon Marsh gave you that, what was it, double, I believe? I mean, he had hit 2 hits, 3 RBI, so that's nice. Castellanos did his job and got that sac fly. But yeah, overall, great series win. Great win. Hopefully get the sweep tomorrow and clinch the division. And yeah, I'm just going to leave you with the Mets' new theme song.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Wasn't expecting that, but it fits. It definitely fits the Mets. That team is just a fucking disaster class. It is insane. It is insane. Like, honest to God, if the Mets end up not making the playoffs, would this collapse be worse than 2007? Honestly. Like, would this be like, is this, is this like, would that be worse than 2007? Because 2007 was bad as it was with a 7-game lead with like 17 games left to play. Like, that in itself was bad. Crazy bad. But the fact that they have been so bad for so long when they started off like 20 games above 500 to be basically having a record comparable to the Washington Nationals for like 3 months at this point. That's like a fucking brutal collapse. Insanely bad collapse. And it's funny too, somebody on Twitter pointed it out. The Mets are having a 2018 like Phillies collapse. Yet the Mets don't have guys like Odubel Herrera, Cesar Hernandez, and I forget who else, Maikel Franco in their lineup, while the Mets have Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, and Pete Alonso. So I guess you could cut that Phillies team some slack. The Mets team, with the fucking one of the highest payrolls in baseball, you shouldn't be collapsing this badly as they are. But they just are. They cannot figure out ways to win games. Now they're even losing in their own ballpark. Like, you can't even describe how bad this collapse is. And teams are pouncing on it. Teams are pouncing on it. Teams are realizing that the Mets are playing scared. The Mets are playing tight. The Mets don't trust themselves. The Mets just can't find a way to get out of this break, and teams are taking advantage of it, every single team. Seriously. They got dominated for the most part by Patrick Corbin today. Crazy. And then they couldn't hit the rest of the bullpen for the Rangers. The Rangers found a way to come back into the game. Edwin Diaz giving up a run. And when the Mets even have a chance to tie the game in the bottom of the ninth, they can't get a hit. Can't get a hit at all. They're just falling apart. It needs to be studied. Completely studied how badly they're falling apart. And just imagine, like, how hot they got last year. It's a complete 180. It is a complete 180. I tell you. Seriously, all my Twitter right now is just oh, look, the fucking Giants took a 2-1 lead over the Dodgers. There's no outs in the bottom of the first inning. Who was on the mound for the Dodgers? Who was pitching? Kershaw. Oh, no, Clayton. He's allowed 3 hits and 2 earned runs. Oh, my God. He just struck out Wilmer Flores, though. He just struck out, and Logan Webb's on the mound for the Giants, so he'd also allowed an earned run. Did he allow a home run, or was it no, it was a hit by Freddie Freeman. Was Ohtani playing last night's game? For some reason, when I was watching it, I did not see Ohtani at all. Was he playing? He was. He just had 3 walks. Okay, I just never noticed him. That's crazy. I never noticed him. Good idea, though. Put the game on MLB TV on the background. Might as well do that. Might as well do that right now. Might as well do that. As I am putting this game on MLB.com, on MLB.TV on my television. Get to you guys in the chat right here real quickly. I still feel the sneeze in the back of my head, like in my nose, and I know it's eventually going to happen. It just will not come out, and it's bothering me. It's bothering me so much. So we'll see what the Giants can do today. Hopefully, Giants win again. That puts us up 6.5 games above the Dodgers. So that would help with the. And I think the magic number for the bye week was 10 last night. So I think with our win, it goes down to 9. And if the Dodgers were to lose, it would probably be 8. I would assume that's the case. So Kershaw down in the count, 3-1 to Schmidt. Still 2 men on first and third with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. So we'll see what happens here with the Giants. Let's see. Yep, one more game and then we clinch the division. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Schmidt and ball 4. Kershaw loads the bases up. Insane. Insane. Do you mean this is Linsanity, Austin? Because is this the Phillies Linsanity run that they're on right now? Excuse me. I am proud to be bought back in. I think we all are now. Yaritza and the Mets lost. They had a 2-run lead. Yep. Classic Mets. Classic LOL Mets. There is literally no team between us in the World Series. We'll see. But really good time to be confident in this team. Hell, I've seen crazier things happen, people. Because if you really just think about a deep dive into this, like with the people that the Phillies have in their lineup right now, it makes no sense how they're winning ball games. It really does not. When they're playing guys like Walton, when they're playing guys like Kemp on a consistent basis, when Harrison Bader is playing as great as he is, that's no knock to Harrison Bader. Like, no one expected Harrison Bader to be this fucking fantastic. It is insane how fantastic he has been. What else? Like, who else in the lineup consistently that's been playing good? And, like, no one's expected Brandon Marsh to be this hot or, like, this consistent with his bat for so long. Bryson Stott to wake up the way that he has. And all this really without Schwarber and Harper, like, on their A-game, really. It's everyone doing their thing. Oh, that was a ground ball to third base, but he bobbled the ball. Is the runner safe at second base? Did he miss it? Did he throw the runner off second? Is he out? Well, they're saying he's out, but he's staying there. Are the Giants going to challenge? They did get the run, though, so it is 3-1 Giants. Are they challenging the play? No, I guess not. Yeah, that was deep. Oh, yeah, Muncy bobbled it. No, he got the out. Rojas was able to stay on second base. Yeah, Muncy bobbled the grounder out of his glove. They probably weren't going to turn 2 anyway. They probably weren't going to. So it is 3-1 Giants now with 2 outs and a runner on first and third again. Still, basically. Who was that batting? I couldn't even tell. Now it's their 8-hole or 9-hole hitter, I think. I think it's their 8-hole hitter, if I'm not mistaken. Matos takes it for strike 1. Tanner Scott with another disaster class. Yeah, Tanner Scott has been crazy bad for the... Like, it's realistically, their pitching has not been good enough. Like, their bullpen, I really think... Bullpen was their huge saver last year in the postseason. Their bullpen has not been good this year. And also, their starting pitching just keeps getting injured. It's crazy. Yep. What else is there? Did I see Jolly Olive's new video? Yes, I did. I actually watched that this afternoon. The going over the 2007 Mets collapse. It's crazy timing, honestly. Crazy timing. No voicemail from Austin because you lost your voice screaming today. That is funny. That is actually funny. I don't care. I'll say it now. They're going all the way. Steve Cohen won't learn either. He'll spend even more money. He'll buy the Dominican Republic and Venezuela so the Mets can preemptively own all future prospects. Matos down 1-2 in the count. That was a nasty curveball by Clayton Kershaw. If they sweep tomorrow the clinch at home, I will call into this show and sing. Oh, God. Oh, God. Last year we were cold going into October and the Mets were hot. Now it's our turn. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it is. Matos takes that for ball 2. 2-2 in the count to him. We'll see where the rest of this inning goes, and then we'll end it off. Here we go, folks. Here's an interesting stat right here from Nick Picone on Twitter after this next pitch by Kershaw, because it's stats about Harrison Bader in the leadoff spot. Pitch to Matos. He hits that the other way, and it is a 4-1 Giants lead on an RBI single. My God. Giants are getting the Clayton Kershaw. So, let's see. So, it's 2 tweets, one regular tweet and a quote tweet. So, number of runs the Phillies have scored in the 4 games Harrison Bader has led off: 9, 11, 6, and 8. That's 34 runs. And then for today, another 8 runs. That's 42 runs in 5 games that Harrison Bader has batted leadoff. Crazy. 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 You can't make it up. And now the Giants are winning 4-1. Giants are winning 4-1. Let's see if they can continue adding on to this lead for Logan Webb and continue getting the Clayton Kershaw. Bailey at the plate, who hit the walk-off last night. Oh, he hits it right to the middle where they were playing him perfectly. So, got unlucky there. It was a solid hit, but they got 4 runs. Got 4 runs. We'll see if they hold on. We'll see if they hold on against LA. So, that'll do it for tonight, everybody. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, as always. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Tomorrow, probably will be more prioritized towards Eagles. But if the Phillies, because this week is just going to be so weird with the late games in LA, so I'm still debating on what to do. Like, do we go the routes of the watching the games live, maybe? Maybe we can do that since the games are late. So maybe we can work something around there. But I really still have to I need to see. I need to see how things can work there. So we'll definitely find a way to make it work. But yeah, so tomorrow might be very heavily Eagles-focused. If we can get a discussion about the Phillies at some point as well, we could. But tomorrow will be Eagles-focused, just because Eagles will be the priority since it is week 2, and it's also a really big game against Kansas City, just to see where everything goes. So we'll also monitor the Phillies, see what happens there, and we'll catch back tomorrow. So thanks, guys, for tuning in, and